Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to create a look using one of the three or all three of the Urban Decay Naked palettes. So during lockdown I depotted all three. I had the Naked 1, Naked 2 and the Rose Gold one, which I think was Naked 3 palettes, and I depotted them all into one palette in the hopes that I would use them some more. And I've not touched them since, so I thought I'd do some sort of look. I've put them in an order that I thought would inspire me to use them more. As you can see, there's literally no mattes ever in the Naked palettes, but I've written on the back which ones are from and what the names are, so I'll let you know as we're going along. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to see what this looks like. So I've just pulled my hair out of my face, ready so we can see it all, and I've already got my moisturiser on. So I'm going to start with my eyes today. I'm going to use the P. Louise base in 02 Rumour on a MAC 206 brush. It's the Duo Fibre little one. And I'm just going to put this on the eyelid all the way up to the brow. So the first shade from the third palette is called Limit, and it is this pinky neutral kind of colour. I don't know if it's like this. And I'm just going to take this on a little fluffy brush. This is a Zoeva 221 brush. I'm just going to pop this into the crease. I actually do really rate Urban Decay shadows. I just never really like the formation of their palettes too much. I always find there's way too many shimmers, nowhere near enough mattes. And sometimes I find that their matte shadows are a little bit dry, but they do a really great black. And their shimmers are just beautiful, so they're really good at the shimmers, which is probably why I put so many of them in the palettes. The next shade I'm going to take is also from the third palette, and this is called Nuna, and it's still got that pink undertone, but it's just that little bit darker. I'm going to take it on the same brush. I'm just going to keep this a little bit tighter to the actual crease, so not blending as high, and definitely putting a little bit on this outer corner as well. Just wanting to create a little bit of depth. I always hold my brush like quite far down. That's because you want the least amount of pressure. If you held your brush at the top, you'd be like drawing a straight line, and that's when it would become unblended. So you just want to keep everything really loose and barely any pressure, and that's what helps it blend so much easier. Actually bringing this quite far in onto this inner corner because it's not too dark of a shade. It'll just give a little bit of depth to that inner corner without closing the eye off completely. When I feel like there's nothing left on the brush, I do go in with those huge big circles just to keep everything nice and blended. And then I'm just going to go back in with that first colour and just soften everything off. Like so. And now for the exciting bit, I'm going to pick a shimmer for the lid. And I don't know which way to go. I don't know whether to keep it pink or go a little bit rose goldy. Let's keep it pink. I'm going to go in with this one, which is also at the third palette. I'm just striking lucky today picking the third one, in the colour Dusk. And it's just a gorgeous metallic pink. I'm going to use this Soigné brush in the style Cover Up, which is just a flat synthetic brush. A crumbly shade actually. I'm just going to try it on my finger and see if that works any better. Oh yeah, finger is definitely better for the shade. It's like crumbling under the brush. So use my finger. I don't know if you can see like the powder, like it is quite a powdery. I don't know if you can see that it's like falling off like a bit of a crumbly shade. Pretty. I'm just going to go back with that blending brush and just get rid of some of the shimmer that's gone up. Poking myself in the eye, that's fun. And then I feel like we need a bit of depth. I feel like this is just a bit too airy fairy. So I'm actually struggling to get them out of the palette. Like, I've done a really good job at jamming them all in. Because this hustle, this is out of the first palette, so finally not using one from 3, and it's still metallic, but not too shimmery. And I'm going to take that on the same brush that I've been blending the crease with, and just a tiny bit. I'm just going to put this on the outer corner. And that's just kind of deepened it that little bit. I'm actually going to just pick one more shimmery shade just for the centre, just to make it less bright. I'm going to choose this one. This is out of palette 3, and this is in the shade Trick, and it is just a gorgeous rose gold shade. I'm going to take that on the cover up brush. I covered it in my own hairs today, and what's wrong with me? And I'm just going to pop this down the centre. And then going back to that pink shade on this brush, just seeing if I can merge the two together. Might have to go back and finger it. And that is the eyeshadow. I'm quite happy with the depth of that, just natural, something you can wear during the day. It definitely needs some sort of liner. So for liner, I'm going to use this one from NYX. It's the Faux Black collection in the colour Blackberry. So it's a purple liner, but with more black in it than purple. I actually love all the liners out of this collection. I know I've talked about the Burnt Sienna shade loads, that's my favourite shade out of them all. So I'm just going to do, or attempt to do, a thin line across the top and a tiny bit underneath, and then I'll decide if I want to smudge it out. I don't think I do. We'll just see how neat it goes and then we'll decide. So just starting on the outer edge. I'm kind of just like massaging it into the root of the lashes rather than concentrating on drawing a nice straight line. Yeah, I think that's quite nice, and then I'm just going to take some underneath as well. I'll just smudge that with my finger the tiniest bit, and I don't like when there's a gap between the top and the bottom, so I'm just kind of doing a couple of dots just to merge them. I don't like the gap of skin. And just do the same on the other eye, like that. So I'm going to do my skin now, and then we'll come back and complete the eyes. So as usual, I've used a Q-tip and some of my eye cream to wipe away the fallout from underneath my eyes, and I'm now going to use my primer. This is the Too Faced Hangover Primer. Really like this, it's really hydrating and just lovely. Don't know whether it keeps my makeup on any longer, but it definitely makes my face feel nice and soft anyway. And then I'm going to use this highlighter from Glossier Play in the colour Pale Pearl. It just looks like this, it's a gorgeous colour. I'm just going to dot this onto the high points of my face. Just do a nice bit of cheekbone highlight. And then a little bit down my nose, because I like a shiny nose, until you look like the Tin Man. Foundation time. For foundation, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Shape and Stick Foundation. And I've got two colours. I've got 180 Radiant Beige and 190 Golden Beige, and I'm going to do a mixture of the two. I'm actually just going to draw this a couple of lines on my face. It's quite nice. It's the coverage of this isn't too mental. Like sometimes with stick foundations, you put the tiniest bit on it and it's like a crazy amount of coverage, but this isn't. It's actually really nice. So I'm kind of putting the darker one around the edges and the lighter one in the middle, but when we start blending, it'll all merge together anyway. It's just because my forehead is a lot darker than the rest of my face, so I always like something a bit darker here if I'm going lighter with the middle. So I'm just going to buff this in with a little buffing brush. Because we've got that highlighter underneath, this is more of a matte foundation. Because we've got that there, it'll add some radiance to it. And then it'll stop it looking too flat. I definitely don't like a matte foundation on my skin. Purely because I'm dry and I feel like if I use a matte foundation, my skin will look drier quicker. I like to try and look as shiny as I can throughout the day. Plus, I always feel like shiny skin looks like healthy skin. I don't know if anybody agrees with me. Yeah, actually, let me know who prefers matte skin and who prefers shiny skin. Because matte skin is definitely kind of a trend, isn't it? I know shiny skin is too, but I feel like matte skin's more in at the minute because we're coming into like autumn, winter. That's so sad, isn't it? Where is this year gone? Mental. And that's that foundation on. The concealer I'm going to use is the KVD, Kat Von D? Do you still say Kat Von D? Lock-It Concealer in M17 Warm, which I think is going to be too light for me, but we shall see. And I'm just going to buff this concealer in with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH31 brush, just a fluffy brush. Okay, that's actually not too bad of a colour. I think that's quite a nice amount of foundation and concealer. So for cheeks, I'm going to use, as normal, the MAC Skin Finish in Medium Tan. I need to get a new one of these because I've well and truly hit the terracotta plate. I'm taking this on a MAC 135 brush, which is a smaller version of the Jaclyn Hill one I normally use. Like, this is just thinner, I find. Kind of just focusing on the cheekbones. If some goes underneath, that's great. Don't want it too high up the cheekbones, but we're not necessarily contouring either. And just around the hairline, which is quite nice that I've got my hair pushed back because I can really get in the white bits that never see the sun. Taking this contour shade from MAC, this is Shadester, on a My Kit Co My Defining Contour Brush Small. Just gonna do this tiniest little bit, kind of here. Just to look like a shadow. Nothing too drastic. And then I just take this brush and just blend it out a little bit. You don't want to over blend. The good thing about this brush is because it's so hard, it really gets the product onto your face. You can't really move it that much. I was just like a little bit of a temple. I feel like it makes my face look narrower. Temple pull. Everything a bit lifted. And now for blush, I'm going to use this palette, which was limited edition, I'm sorry. It was from the Christmas collection, it's a MAC one. And this blush is called At Dusk. And I just feel like it's the perfect cool toned pink to go with this like cool tony pinky purple eye. So I'm just going to take some of that on a geofiber brush. This is an MSQ one. These are so cheap and so good. The only issue is the head falls off, but if you've got a glue gun it's fine, you can just glue it back on. Just gonna lightly dust it. It's like a natural flushed pink. It's not my usual vibe. I normally like a really bright blush. But I feel like it would look wrong with this look. Tell you what though, this concealer is creasing. I mean, every concealer creases on me, but it is creasing something silly. And then whilst I've got this palette, I might as well use this gorgeous highlighter. This is in the shade TUTU. Just gonna keep it on the same brush, you know. Just gonna put it where we put that liquid highlighter before. I'm not gonna put any down my nose, I feel like, because we've got that liquid one underneath, we don't need it. Just pop it there, and then whatever's kind of left, just kind of take it under the brow a little bit, just for a bit of extra something. And that is the skin kind of complete. So I'm just going to go away and do my mascara and stuff, and then I will be back. And that is mascara done, so I'm going to do my brows. This is a CYO Brow Sculpting Pencil in Frame of Mind. I feel like this is a tiny bit too dark, but we shall see. Just give them a little brush. And I like the shape of this, like it's quite a chubby pencil. Just kind of filling in the end. I don't want to fill in too much. There's definitely little spots where it needs it. That's good enough for now, and then I'm just going to pop some brow gel, and I'm going to use the Glossier Boy Brow in brown. It's just got so much product to it. Like, I really like this, but I just hate how much comes out on the tiny brush, because otherwise it's just like your brows are wet. I'm going to comb them through. I kind of like all my brows pointing upwards, so I brush them upwards. Then I can go back in any areas that I feel like still need a bit of depth, but I do really like this product. I never go back in, I just like kind of wipe my brush on the side just to pick some of that up that I've rubbed off. Otherwise it's just too much. Yeah, so I think I'd like this product like when I've nearly finished it. I think that'll be my favourite time to use it. I'm not sure about the colour of the brow pencil I just used, or it's a bit grey. Did a job. That is brows on, as best as they can be. The lip I've gone for today is the Bourjois Rouge Edition Velvet in 07 in the colour Nudist 07, and it's a liquid lip, so I'm just gonna go straight from the bullet with this. I love the colour of this and the texture. One of the actresses whose makeup I used to do, she had this in her kit, in her little set bag, and I loved it. It's just such a flattering colour, and no matter how many times you touch it up, like some liquid lipsticks, they don't layer well, or they crack and like ball up, and this never does. You can do like numerous layers of this and it's great. Great for eating and drinking scenes anyway. And this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any recommendations of products, anything you're loving using, any new lip products, I love a good lip product, or if you want me to make a specific type of video, let me know and I will. And I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching.